I know a lot of people ask you about your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. What's your Mount Rushmore of your personal wrestling moments?
Man, I would have to go to the match part of it. Just like working with Bret the Hitman Hart, who put me on the map. With Survivor Series and 13. Working with The Rock, anytime we laced him up, he brought out the best in me, and I brought the best in him. Those three WrestleManias we had lined, had been some of the moments that I really enjoyed. All those Vince moments, driving all those vehicles. But if I really dig back into the stuff that I really loved, it was some of those matches, like at the Los Angeles Forum, working 30-minute Broadways with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with no cameras there, and about a house that was only a quarter full. But it was the work, and it was some of those old buildings in the USWA when I was learning, and I was still green as grass. Those are the things that I really remember, the learning periods and spending life on the road and getting into an industry where you had to take care of yourself and no one was going to help you. And if you were lucky, if one of those veterans, and a lot of them did, took me under their wing, under their learning tree, and told me, hey man, this is what you need to do, and you only have so many bumps in your body, so pick and choose them wisely. The advice that I was given, those type things that are the things that really mattered to me.
So those matter and they stand out to you more than the beer bash and stuff like that, the bedpan.
Oh man, the beer bashes are great, and that's the showbiz aspect of it. And what I liked about the beer bash stuff was anytime, a lot of times, when Raw went off the air, I kept on going. And several times we built up, or I built up huge fines for Vince because of overtime in those union cities. But just the fact that I could go out there in a situation, sometimes maybe the television stuff didn't go like you wanted it to, but you had that aftermath just for the house, to go out there and make up for it and ad lib, think on your feet, and improvise. And those were the three qualities that I guess were buried within me, but working with WWE enabled me to find and hone and perfect those techniques to save my ass when it needed saving. I just sent Punk a message last night. I didn't know he had torn his tricep. I haven't been following anything. I don't know what's going on with that. Me and Phil trade messages every here and there. We rarely talk, probably once or twice a year. I love the guy, and I don't even know if I mentored him, because I think Punk's probably a lot smarter than I am. Great promo guy, great worker. He's got his own thing going, and we're just friends. So I think probably, I remember there's a picture of myself and him from Chicago, my favorite town to work in and my favorite building. And I guess he had come down to where we were all hanging out. It's an old picture. And so maybe, I was, maybe he looked up to me back in the day, but I don't know if I so much mentored him, because I think he paid his own dues. He learned it the way he did, and he got over on his own merits. The fact that maybe I could have been somewhat of an influence would be flattering if that were the case, but he's made his own career. But I don't even know what's going on with the current situation or what they're doing, because right now I rarely watch any of the product. I watch all the pay-per-views, the major pay-per-views, but he's certainly carved out a hellacious career in his own right and by his own right. The performance level has sped up so much, and the guys and gals are doing so much incredible stuff. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's kind of like being such a big football fan. I was just watching clips of Mean Joe Green, Pittsburgh Steelers. I used to be a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and you watch those greats from back then into what the guys are doing now, and the guys now are just so much quicker, faster. Of course, everything is, the camera is better. So these days, even if I look at Attitude Era stuff, I look like I'm in slow motion watching what these superstars today are doing with better cameras and just better athletes. I really enjoy some of the sequences that they're able to do, but then that also takes me back to one of the things that I don't like is sometimes I think there's too much being done. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Which one do you want? And on one hand, I respect all the athleticism, but sometimes I think it's too much. But at the end of the day, everything evolves and gets kind of faster, it seems. And I love the product. I love reality-based storylines, and I think the men and women that are participating in it today are much better athletes and there's been better athletes decades ago, but I really think there's some really great work being done in the ring right now. If you go back, 20 some odd years, maybe 25 and earlier, when they had Liberace and all the people from the showbiz world come in because they wanted to make, WrestleMania just bigger than life. And it was. So they had incorporated that back then. But now what we're seeing, and so many people singing the national anthem or whatever, but now we're seeing those participants, actually participating in storylines in the ring. Logan Paul's been fantastic doing that. So it's gone from not just getting the rub from them, but now they're giving people the rub by allowing them in and allowing them to participate. But they've got to be good enough to participate. You can't just throw somebody out there. Hey, yeah, this person's really hot in the showbiz world, and come out there and stink out the building with a poor performance. Logan Paul has thrived in that scene, and I know he's a good thing. He has a great podcast, but the kid's done a hell of a job, and they've given him the opportunity to get in that ring. I had called Superstar once or twice many years ago and talked to him about his run because I was a huge fan of his, and he didn't really influence me. It wasn't my style, but I just liked that he was all about the showbiz, and he was a good worker in his own right. Not the greatest athlete, but so influential with the body, the promos. I love the fact that he was a light worker. He wasn't trying to go out there and shoot on people, and he was all about the showbiz part of it. And he was larger than life. And had they had the wherewithal to turn him babyface at the peak of his career when he was a heel before they put that belt on Backlund, he would have been Hulkamania before Hulkamania was ever invented. Because I think even Hogan will say that he was influenced by Superstar, but sad that he's gone, but he left a hell of a mark on an industry, and he was awesome, and I was a huge fan. I like being in my comfort zone, but when we came up with the idea of this show, it was about me doing a lot of things that I wanted to do. Turns out, when you combine ideas, there's a lot of ideas that the networks would like to try to do as well, so you kind of got to merge all the ideas and do that. So I did the best. One of the tough things was, and kind of stepping out of my comfort zone, was when we were trying to find, really what the show was. We shot this, we started filming without a pilot. So it's called Stone Cold Takes on America, but I'm not being Stone Cold. I'm not saying, hey, give me a hell yeah. I don't have that armor on, and I don't have, that's not me. I live my life as Steve Austin. And so then we had some fish out of water moments. I just think when we started filming the show, I had my vision of what the show was, my producers, the network, and other people involved with the production company. And as we had to go through some of these things, and it was kind of like, okay, am I trying to be funny in these moments? Am I trying to really do these jobs to perfection, which is what I was trying to do? I wasn't trying to get a laugh out of them. I was trying to find out just who and what I was. And so finally, I think towards the middle and towards the end of the season, we find that groove. But I guess it was just, we got something to do. The cameras are rolling. Go do it. So I think the show gets better in the next couple episodes when we kind of get away from some of the fish out of water stuff. But it was very uncomfortable. But by the same token, it was something to do. And I've had a blast filming the show. The Broken Skull Challenge was a hell of a show, and going out there with some of the best athletes in America and, pushing them. And these are people, men and women, who are pushing themselves already, to the absolute limit, and then out there performing for America, and me just on their ass, try to bring out even more of them. So that was a show that I really loved. And not only did I love the show, but I loved the way the sub was 50 miles from my house. So I'd go out there on Sunday evening so I didn't have to fight traffic. And it had a big ass camper for me. I took my chocolate lab Hershey out there with me. And so we'd film the show, and then I'd hang out all week, and then I'd go home on Friday evening. So just due to a lifestyle kind of thing and the competitive nature of that show, I really enjoyed that. I like being a subject when we're doing things that I want to be subjected to. some of the stuff was uncomfortable, and I think my vision of the show was, hey, we undertake on a journey of learning how to really perfect driving a race car, and it's over the course of the show that story is told. So these are a lot of different things going on in the show, so they're like kind of quick hits, and I'm enjoying the show. It's different and it's challenging when you try to film a show without a pilot, and so you're not seeing anything. So in essence, in a season one, you're throwing a lot of stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I'm not getting a chance to see what's sticking and what's not, or what I need to modify. For a guy like me who's been used to working in front of a live crowd, I rely on that feedback to make my next decision. I didn't have that feedback to make my next decision. Hey, what I need to do? Do I need to change anything? But I am good at just because I've hosted so much and used to be in the podcast business. I am good at facilitating. So the challenge for me was finding out, hey man, I'm not being stone cold. Who am I? Trying to find my voice for the show. And what are we trying to do here? We're trying to really be humorous. We're trying to tell stories. You know, I had to find myself during the show, and that was challenging for me.